Hello everyone, this is Shashank and you're watching iSharky. So guys, in today's video, we are going to discuss Article 14, which is a fundamental right named as right to equality. The Constitution of India guarantees the right to equality through Articles 14 to 18. Article 14 outlaws discrimination in a general way and guarantees equality before law to all the persons. Article 14 has been given a highly activist magnitude in recent years and thus it generates a large number of court cases. Equality before law. Article 14 runs as follows. The state shall not deny any person equality before law or equal protections of laws in the territory of India. So here we got to know two concepts are involved in Article 14, namely equality before law and equal protection of laws. The first is a negative concept which ensures that there is no special privilege in favor of anyone. That is, all are equally subject to ordinary laws of the land and that no person is above law. This, however, is not an absolute rule and there are number of exceptions to it. Example, foreign diplomats enjoy immunity from the country's judicial process. Article 361 extends immunity to the President of India and state governors, public officers and judges. They all enjoy same protection and same special groups. Example, trade unions have been accorded special privileges, equal protection of law. It is positive in content. It does not mean that identically same law should apply to all the persons or that every law must have universal application within the country itself in spite of differences of circumstances. What it postulates is the application of the same laws alike and without discrimination to all the persons similarly situated. It denotes equality of treatment in equal circumstances. It implies that among the equals the law should be equal and equally administered, that the like should be treated alike without distinction of race, religion, wealth, social status or political influence. All persons are not equal by attainment or circumstances. The varying needs of different classes or section of people require differential and separate treatment. The legislature is required to deal with diverse problems arising out of an infinite variety of human relations. It must therefore be necessary to have the power of making laws to attain particular objects and for that purpose of distinguishing, selecting and classifying persons and things upon which its laws, a legislature is entitled to make reasonable classifications for purposes of legislation. Now I would like to highlight two major points here. For being reasonable classification, it should fulfill the two following tests. The first one, it should not be arbitrary, artificial or evasive. It should be based on intelligible differentia, some real and substantial distinction which distinguishes persons or things grouped together in the class from others left out of it. Number 2. The differentia adopted as a basis of classification must have rational or reasonable relationship to the object sought to be achieved by the statute in question. These two tests were propounded by the Supreme Court in Lakshmi Khansari vs. UP. Therefore, mere differentiation or inequality of treatment does not per se amount to discrimination within the inhibition of the Equal Protection Clause. To attract the clause, it is necessary to show that the selection or differentiation is unreasonable or arbitrary, that it does not rest on any rational basis having regard to the object which is legislatures have in view in making the law in question. Whether a classification adopted by a law is reasonable or not is a matter of course. The twin tests applied for the purpose are however quite flexible. There is no closed category for classification. The extent, range and kind of classification depend on the subject matter of legislation, the condition of the country and the economic, social, political factors at work at a particular time. It is not necessary that for a classification to be valid, its basis must be always appear on the face of the law. To find out the reasons and the justification for the classification, the court may refer to relevant material, examples, objects and reasons append to a bill, parliamentary debates, affidavits of the parties, matters of common knowledge, the background circumstances leading to the passage of act, etc. As held in Jagdish Pandey vs. Chancellor Bihar University, when a person seeks to impeach the validity of a law on the ground that it offends Article 14, the onus is on him to plead and prove the infirmity. He must produce necessary facts and figures to establish that he has not been treated differentially from others, but also that he has been so treated from persons similarly situated and circumstanced without any reasonable basis, and that such differential treatment has been made. Now let's discuss taxing statutes. Tax laws are no exception to Article 14. Tax laws must also pass the test of Article 14. The courts adopt a more tolerant attitude toward a tax law. The courts assert that in view of the inherent complexity of fiscal adjustment, a legislature ought to be permitted a larger discretion in the matter of classification to find out discrimination. What is decisive is not the phraseology of the statute, but the effect of the law. A classification made to prevent evasion of tax and fraud on taxation may be held valid under Article 14. Geographical differentiation. Geographical consideration may form a valid basis of classification for purposes of legislation in appropriate cases. The state of Rajasthan passed an act prescribing a procedure for fixing fair and equitable rent payable in the Marwar region. It was challenged on the ground that it did not apply on the whole state. Rejecting the objection, the Supreme Court stated that Article 14 prohibits unequal treatment of persons similarly situated. The act would be bad if it were established that the conditions prevailing in other areas of the state were similar to those in Marwar where the act applied. An act could not be held discriminatory merely because it did not apply to the whole state. Uniform law need to operate throughout the state regarding any particular matter. If circumstances so warrant, a state can be divided into several zones. The different laws regarding the same matter may apply to these zones. Legislation applicable to a single person. A statute based on reasonable classification because the class to which it applies consists only of one person. A single body or institution may form a class. Legislation specifically directed to a named person or body would be valid if on account of some special circumstances or reasons applicable to a person and not applicable to others. The single person could be treated as a class by himself. Administrative discretion. A common tendency in modern democracy is to confer discretionary powers on the government or administrative officers. Such power is usually in very broad phraseology and gives a large area of choice to the administrator. This creates the danger of official arbitrariness, which is subversive of the doctrine of equality. The courts have emphasized that the Article 14 strikes at arbitrariness in administrative actions and ensures fairness and equality of treatment. If there are two laws covering a situation, one more drastic than other, there is the danger of discrimination. If the administration has a discretion to apply any of these laws in given case of two persons placed in similar situation, one may be dealt with under the drastic law and other under the softer law. To minimize any chance of such discrimination, the courts insist that the drastic law should lay down some rational and reasonable principle or policy to regulate administrative discretion as to its application. If the drastic laws fail to do so, then it will be void under Article 14. Judicial discretion. Discretion vested in a judicial officer, exercisable on the facts and circumstances of each case, may not amount to denial of equal protection unless there is shown to be present in it an element of intentional and purposeful discrimination. The discretion of industrial officers is not arbitrary, as the law provided for revision by superior courts of orders passed by subordinate courts, as held in Buddhan vs. Bihar and A. Lakshman Rao vs. Judicial Magistrate. The discretion given to the judge to sentence an accused of murder either to death or to imprisonment for life is not valid under Article 14. The judge has to balance all the aggravating and mitigating circumstances of the cases and record his reasons in writing for awarding lesser punishment, as held in Jagmohan Singh vs. UP. No judicial review of the economic policy of government. The Supreme Court has consistently taken the view that there can be no judicial review of the economic policy of the government unless there is violation of the Constitution or any act. The court has thus imposed self-restraint on its judicial power. So guys, Article 14 is completed. I hope you like this video. Before moving on the next video, please make sure to like and share this video and also press the subscribe and bell icon. I will see you guys in the next video. Till then, be healthy, be focused.